Hey guys, my name's Tamar Kaprelian. Welcome to Celeb Secrets for You.
How did you get discovered and what made you start in the music industry?
Well, I got discovered. I was actually around, I think it was about 14, 15, and I was doing a fundraiser for my high school class, and there was actually a talent scout, I guess, sitting, right next to where we were handing out flyers, and I was being silly and I was goofing off with my friends, and I started singing into this like soda bottle, and after I finished, this guy came up to me and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "Excuse me, miss, do you sing?" And I said, "No, but I want to." And he said, do you sing professionally?" I said, "No, but I really want to." And then he started kind of introducing me to a couple of key people in the industry, and then like a web, it kind of, the people who I was coming in contact with, like, just kind of spread like a little spider web. So that's kind of how I got my foot in the first time, really, in the music industry. So I was around 14, 15.
Who are your musical influences?
My musical influences are, I have a pretty wide range. I mean, mainly singer-songwriters of the 60s and 70s. So, I grew up wanting to be Billy Joel, and I was also very influenced by Carole King and Elton John, Phil Collins, and Sting. So all the really great the Beatles, obviously, Paul McCartney, all the classic songwriters of the 70s and the 60s.
Your album was just released recently. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it was just released recently. It was released almost a month ago. It's amazing because, as an artist, you spend so much time. You spend years and years really kind of perfecting this body of work. And finally, when it's finished, it's like basically it's like closing a chapter, a huge chapter of your life. And then basically, once you start writing your new record, or once you start working on your new project, it's opening a completely new page and a new palette. So it's an incredible feeling to finally have that art that I was working on for about 6-7 years finally out for people to connect to and for people to listen to. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of the amount of time that was put into the songwriting and to perfect the songwriting and to really write material that means something, and hopefully that kind of transcends all genres and whatnot. So,
what was your favorite song to record off the album?
Favorite song to record? It's so funny. My brother's answering the questions for me. He's sitting right behind me. Which one did you say? Oh, my brother likes Three Simple Words. That song's actually not on the record. It's on my EP, and I think it's online too. Three Simple Words is on iTunes, but it depends. Like I love, each song has such a different message, and I think it depends on your mood and depends on the day and what you're feeling that day. New Day is very hopeful, and that's the single, and it's about overcoming struggle, and that song was very therapeutic for the time that I was going through it, a couple years ago, and writing that just released a lot of emotions for me. And then I have a ballad called Raining in Paradise, and that's actually one of the later songs I wrote. It was maybe one of the last songs I wrote for the album, and I really wanted to write a lullaby, and it ended up being a lullaby for my future children, and that means a lot to me. So I really love that one. And The Sinner or Saint is the one that I did with Ryan and Brent from OneRepublic. So that also has a lot of meaning and to me, because they're partially the reason why I got signed. They're part of the reason really why I got signed to Interscope. So it just depends on the day.
What was it like working with Interscope Records?
Well, I have. It's so funny because I'm trying to give you the same answer I was trying to give you, but I don't think that's gonna work. But no, it was honestly it was really, really, really great experience working with them, because creatively and artistically they let me do what I wanted to do on this album, and most of the time you hear labels, because they like to mold. Usually, generally, labels like to mold the artists the way that they envision the project going. And most of the time, that I think really hinders creativity. And when I signed Interscope, they said, we trust you, we have faith in you, and go do your thing. So it's been a really, really wonderful experience so far.
Now, you did a Nylon magazine photo shoot at your house. What was that like?
I did. It was fun because Nylon came to me and said, we want to do this photo shoot somewhere where you're creatively inspired. And I said, well, the one place that the place that I wrote my album is at my piano, downstairs in my living room. And they said, cool, let's do the shoot there. So I said, okay, come on over. So the whole team came over. The photographer, the stylist, the makeup artist. It was wonderful. And we just did a really casual, laid back photo shoot at my house. It was really nice.
You have upcoming shows in Los Angeles, like a mini tour, you'd call it?
I do.
What will you be performing, and what can you tell us a little bit about that? How fans can get to the show and everything else.
Yeah, of course. The next few months, I just really want to, just really kind of, I haven't really played out in LA that much, and the past year or so, I've done 2 tours, across the U.S., and I just really kind of want to focus on playing in my city. And so I have a show next Tuesday on the 18th at a great venue called Hotel Cafe, and it's on a Monday night, which will be really fun. And then 2 weeks later, November 8th, I have another show there. So just doing like a little residency at Hotel Cafe. And then I'm playing a couple colleges. I'm playing USC November 2nd. I want to start connecting with people locally, which I think is very important for any artist, for any singer-songwriter. And short acoustic set, me and my guitar player Victor and my percussionist Chris, and the 3 of us just kind of jamming and having a good time. It's all about having a good time, and it's all about you guys having a good time as well. So that's our goal. At least that should be my goal for you guys,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited.
Since we're all about secrets, can you tell us a secret about yourself?
Secret about me? That's a good question. I've actually never gotten that one. What's a good secret? Oh man, I think you've stumped me. I'm trying to think what a juicy secret is of mine. I don't even know. Oh man, Juliette, I don't even know what to tell you. I really don't know what to say to this one. I'm really not your typical party animal rock star, whatever. I'm really not into that stuff. So I wish I had more juice for you. I'm just I'm a simple girl. I'm really nerdy. I like to read books. I like to write my music. I clearly like to work out. I'm really chill. So, okay, so my little fun secret to share with you guys is that I have a pretty big crush on Justin Timberlake, and yeah, I actually this is funny. I met him maybe a year ago, and my manager belongs to this golf course, and he plays golf there. And so I basically stalked him on the golf course. It was pretty messed up.
Anyone would though. It's Justin Timberlake. Come on. Who would?
I know. And then he asked me some question about where I live, and I said some random answer that had nothing to do with the question that he asked me. It was the most bizarre thing. And seriously, after kind of looking back on the conversation, a minute after it happened, I'm thinking to myself, my God, how did I turn so stupid for a couple minutes? It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. So that's my fun little secret for you.